And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your Precision Racing League's American PS4 F1 Championship Series. I'm your host for this evening, Hootius. Out there in Twitch land, you know me as Old Man Hoot. Tonight, round number 5, season number 10 of this fantastic league, and we are in Barcelona for the Spanish Grand Prix. Well, so far in qualifying, looks like weather is not going to be a factor. As always, we'll give it a few moments. And actually, there it is. Aerostrike, our resident meteorologist, says no rain in store at all tonight. So, everybody's out there. They have their fitted set of tires. They're going to go ahead and get their banker lap in. And then attempt a quicker second lap, trying to get themselves set up for the race on how they want to start their tire strategy. So, as everybody's getting out and about, first, let's go ahead and update everybody on what's been happening so far throughout 4 races of the season. McSendit is still the points leader by just a terribly slim margin, however. Over Odoms, it's now just 3 points as the two drivers have traded wins back and forth so far to start this year off. And still surviving up there in third place, though the gap has now fallen very short as well. We've got Nick Dahi, the Williams driver, holding on to third, though, after back-to-back podiums. Where is he at? There he is. Forza Alonso, the 3-time champion, the all-time win leader, the all-time podium leader, the all-time everything leader in this wonderful league, is making his way back up the point standings. However, Forza's going to have to start going on a tear if he wants to catch our top 2 drivers. Now, let's go ahead and do one quick update as well. Looking at our leaderboard, there's a very weird-looking name. Some dude Marquez driving a McLaren. Forget that, it's Odoms. He had to be special and join an esports team and change his name, but he will always be Odoms in our heart. So, any new viewers, try to learn it. I'm not going to change my ways. It's always Odoms. Speaking of which, so Odoms is the first one to put out a hot lap. Brian Mosser's second. Now we're talking about qualifying. Odoms has also captured 3 out of the 4 poles. The only race he did not start on the pole was McSendit. So both drivers right now dominating early, all stats in the league. And absolutely, Bubba, if there is a Miami Grand Prix, there's definitely a party at Hoot's house, like for that weekend. It will be awesome. Alright, and actually, so on his outlap, McSendit has bailed. He has not put in a time. He has gone back into the pits. Now, during our practice runs, McSendit got into the 17s. Odoms is really close. He's at an 18-1, but we'll keep an eye on our points leader when he does come out. All right, for the most part now, the majority of the field has gotten their first laps in. With McLaren F1, or excuse me, that would be Dano 1Z, apparently having an off on his 1 lap. So he'll come in, he'll get fresh tires, he'll definitely knock that time back down. As we can see, some very close times throughout the field as Brian Mosser has put her in the gravel. Tough break for Brian, too, because I would have expected him to come into the pits and get a fresh set of tires, so now he's going to have to take even more time, get his way around, get on a new set, and then put in one last qualifying effort. However, he still has plenty of time. There's over 6 minutes, so we'll keep an eye on the Haas driver. And Bubs, I would come over to party with you for the weekend. I'm not too excited about ponies otherwise. Unless we want to set it for a weekend, you know, my Gators want to whoop your Wildcats in basketball. We can do that too. All right, here we go. Halfway through qualifying. Pit road is now busy. Like we said, the majority of the field hit the track right away to get laps in. Now they're coming in, getting fresh tires, and it's going to be busy once again. Now this could work out very, very well in the favor of McSendit, as he is out there now with a pretty empty track. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and take a track tour with McSendit as he's about to start his hot lap. Coming off the final turn, down the front stretch, this is a DRS zone. It's not super, super long, but it's definitely long enough to get a slipstream, pop the DRS, and make a good overtake attempt going into turn 1. There we go, around the 100-meter mark, getting on the brakes decently hard, getting down to about 100 miles an hour. Boom. 1 and 2 are really quick. Here's turn 3, a very long sweeping right. This could be a tire eater if guys don't have the car set up right. Into a short shoot, turn 4, a medium sweeper right here as well. So that left front tire is going to come into play tonight. One more short shoot, get on the brakes, slower down. You've got a left there, that's not too bad. This left bend is flat out, but as soon as it gets straight, then you have to get on the braking zone for another S. All uphill, very tricky. You have this semi-blind sweeper right that it's so tempting to take faster than what you need to into this very, very short DRS straight, into a very hard braking zone. Into a short shoot again. This is more of a weirder looking S with the right hand portion being very sweeping again. As you go into another shoot, hard on the brakes, right-hander, short shoot, hard on the brakes, left-hander. Quick right for the second to final turn. That's where we could see some corner cuts happen. Back into the final corner, and down the front stretch again. And McSendit crosses the line, P1. That's how you take Barcelona in a minute 17.9. Though McSendit does not have a lot of breathing room. We're looking at 1600ths of a second. Separated. Oh, my laptop was in the way. We have a car completely destroyed. That was a Red Bull. I'm not sure which one, but... Oh, no. And Odoms was paying attention to that, and Odoms went into the wall. He tried to accelerate on the curbing, and Odoms went into the wall. Definite wing damage. This is towards, the later part of the circuit. It's going to be really, really close if Odoms can get it back on the pit road, get tires, get a new wing, and get going again. Now, we saw this with Brian Mosser earlier as well. When you go off track, especially into gravel or into grass, the tires are insanely slick until you can get it all cleared off. That's what Odoms is struggling with right now. As you see, he's desperately trying to get himself to pit road right away. Super, super close there as well. Odom's just speeding into pit road. Obviously, during the race, that's a penalty. However, at this point, he's trying to get in as quick as possible, get that wing fixed, and get back out on the track. All right, McSendit as well. He just got into the pits. It'll be interesting to see. Is he happy enough with that lap, or is he going to try to get a fresh set of tires and get out there? All right, trying to catch up on chat right now. And I have to make a darker background for my chat because you guys, with your neon green names, it is super hard to see what it is. Wait, can you guys not hear the game sound? See, Patrick. Anybody else having audio issues? Or is it, like, super, super quiet? Please let me know so I can get this before the race starts. Alright. As I was attending to the lobby there, very low game audio. Okay, give me 1 second here. I know how to fix this. Alright, that should be better. So let me know if I need to boost it up anymore. But as I was dealing with the audio issue, so Forza has now jumped his way up into third, bumping Nick Dahi down to P4. Forza's teammate in the Ferrari, Aerostrike, currently running 5th. Then we've got the teammates in the Force Indias, B. Moore in 6th, Aaron Webb in 7th. Everybody making that last-ditch effort to get one more hot lap in. Alright, cool. Thank you, guys. Alright, as we're keeping an eye on McSendit, it looks like McSendit will get one more shot at another qualifying lap. As he's in Sector 3 right now, he will cross the start-finish line before the 22-second timer is up. As Odoms is now starting his hot lap. Now all the drivers who are in the pits, Forza, Dano, McLaren, Zeusman, they're done. There's no way for them to do another lap. J-Rod, McLaren, those drivers have also went ahead and retired from session. Aaron Webb as well. Matter of fact, so J-Rod has jumped up to 7th. Aaron has jumped up to 6th with his last lap. We'll keep an eye on B. Moore, see what B. Moore can do. Alright, we're going to keep an eye on Nick Dahi. He's in the final handful of corners now. Currently setting P4. Can he jump his way into the first row? And he does jump one position. He will clip Forza. So Nick is currently sitting 3rd. And McSendit had an issue on his lap. He has bailed. McSendit has retired from the session. It's all on Odoms now. Odoms, 3 more turns to go. Can he make it 4 pole out of 5 races? Or will McSendit get his 2nd pole of the season? Down the front stretch. And Odoms did it by 4/100ths of a second. He will clip McSendit. Now that seems like a mile away though from last week when Odoms clipped McSendit by 1/1000th of a second. This week it's 4/100ths. Absolute insanity between our top 2 drivers so far this season. Oh, and the issue with McSendit, as I'm catching up in chat, is it has AI K-Dog just destroyed a McLaren there. McSendit wrecked, trying to dodge a slower car, so very unfortunate. I'll have to keep an eye on what that can mean here in the long run, but there it is. That very razor-thin gap between 1st and 2nd. Dahi is going to start 3rd. Forza is going to be 4th. Arrow in 5th. Aaron 6th. J-Rod, B-More, Ranga, and Brian Mosser is going to round out your top 10. We'll keep an eye on K-Dog and Dano, the first 2 cars outside the top 10 who can start on any fresh set of tires that they want. Psycho, McLaren, KWP, Zeus, and Prowler, they will all start in the back. Again, any fresh set of tires they want. They will dictate their own tire strategy for this race. And as I was watching chat, I did not hit X enough. Hopefully YouTube does not ban this video because of that stupid F1 logo. Alright, the drivers now are taking their time. They're setting up their pit strategies. They're making sure they have the right amount of fuel that they want in. And they're setting what lap they want to make their tire changes. And if it's going to be a 2-stopper or a 1-stopper. 1-stopper is probably going to be your race-winning strategy. However, a 2-stop could be competitive. So, we'll have to keep an eye out on this. Now, because of setup issues that we suffered a couple races ago, once everybody is done and we load out of this page and everybody's ready to go, there will be no formation lap, no parade lap. Once everybody's on the grid, we are going to go. And there we go. The timer has started. So everybody's going to finish up. We're going to grid up, and then we're going to go. The McLaren of Odoms is going to start P1. The Mercedes of McSendit, P2. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to hop on the Ferrari of Aerostrike, and he's going to take us into turn 1. And the lights are out. Looks like Odom gets a nice clean start. McSendit actually a little slow off the start. He's got Nick on the outside, Forza on the inside. Forza backs out, avoids going 3 wide into turn 1. That's going to allow his teammate Aero. Nope, Forza with a strong outside run. He's going to keep P4. Nice and even so far up top. We're going to jump back into the field. We're seeing a bunch of color changes. A lot of jockeying for position. Looks like everybody's wings intact. No turn 1 shenanigans. Very, very tight racing there between Brian Mosser and... Oh, B-More has had a lot of issues, and we got a Sector 2 yellow. And that's going to be McLaren. All right, back up front. As everybody is pretty much falling into line right now. Let's look at our details. So the big winner off the start was K-Dog and KWP. As actually Renga now has gotten around KWP. Psycho uses that. Oh, we might have issues in the back again. We have a spinner, and that is the Haas of Brian Mosser once again. That unfortunate gravel trap has ate Mosser many times this evening. He's got to shake it off and literally shake the debris off his tires, get his car going, and get back on his race strategy. All right. As we see the top 8 cars. Well, J-Rod is flirting with being out of DRS of Aero right now. So the first 6 cars all well within DRS of one another. Dahi is flirting, falling out of DRS of McSendit. Forza's right behind him. Shout out to Aaron Webb. He's got an early position. He's sitting up in 5th right now. He got around the Ferrari of Aerostrike. Aaron Webb riding the momentum right now. 2 straight races in a row. Pretty much dominated the 4th place position. He wants a podium though. So Aaron's going to try to buy his time. Oh, we're having issues in the back. This would be Zeus Man, the Red Bull in the gravel. You see the wing is ripped off the right front there. He'll definitely have to make an early pit stop. Brian Mosser as well had to make an early pit stop. Brian has put on medium tires. As one thing I neglected to mention, so here at Spain, it's the hardest compounds you can do. Soft, medium, and hard. All our front runners starting on the softs. There we go. Matter of fact, so Zeus. Oh, we have a Sector 3. Oh, no, that's going to be K-Dog. He's falling down. And the Renault is kicking up rocks. It looks like he have had issues with Prowler. Or maybe Prowler slowed up to make sure he didn't get any part of it. But unfortunate start for K-Dog. He was up several positions early and has lost them all now. All right, it's starting to thin out up front. Lap 3, DRS is active. McSendit flirting with the 1 second marker. He's got to keep it closer. Dahi, just a razor's edge outside of DRS. Forza, though, well within DRS of Dahi. Aaron Webb has fallen back out of DRS with Forza, and he's got the Ferrari of Aero, the Red Bull of J-Rod right on his tail. Got a 3-car battle forming for the battle for 5th. Forza closing in even more on Nick Dahi now. Matter of fact, we're going to hop on board with the Ferrari. There's 2 DRS zones, but this front stretch is by far the more significant one. You see Forza gave up a little bit of gap. He turns on the DRS. I think he's a little too far away, though, to make a move going into turn 1. He is. He'll keep it ducked in. Let's fall back. Same thing, Aero. Too far back of Aaron Webb to utilize the DRS. J-Rod must have had issues coming off the last corner. Lost a little bit of gapping on that straightaway. Alright, McSendit's teammate Ranga in the Mercedes. Up 1 right now, currently sitting in 8th. Feeling nice and comfy right now. He's 3 seconds behind J-Rod. However, he's got 3 seconds on, well, as we have a battle right now for 9th place. Psycho in the Renault, B-More in the Force India. They got Dano in the Williams. Really nice job by all drivers right there. B-More and Psycho. Too wide through many corners right there. Wheel to wheel, no touching. Just fantastic racing right there. Give B-More 9. And there we go. Dano makes a nice move. Oh, you see Psycho spun the wheels on acceleration. That's going to allow Dano to grab 10th in the final point spot for right now. Behind Psycho, we see the Toro Rosso at KWP trying to join in on that battle. Behind him, the Renault of K-Dog looking to get back into it. Had a great start, then lost positions, and we got to pass up front. Or we have a battle going on up front. Aaron Webb and Aero Strike, wheel to wheel. What a power outside move through the sweeping right-hander in turn 3. Give 5th place to Aero. Jump on board the Force India of Aaron Webb. Trying to size Aero back up. See if he can get his position back. Oh, Aaron, trouble's coming off that turn. That's going to allow Aero to make a little bit of a gap. J-Rod was a little bit too far behind to be able to capitalize there on Aaron Webb. Oh, little bit of oversteer for J-Rod. You see him had to counter steer, get back into it. Just lost a little bit of time, nothing too drastic. Let's move up front. Forza again, all over the back of Nick Dahi. Oh, right there, Forza had to make a little bit of a counter steer. It's going to allow Nick to get a pretty good run. We have a Sector 3 yellow. Let's jump through the field real quick. Oh, Zeusman retired under his own accord. He pulled it into pit road, proper procedure. Not sure where that yellow came from. And Forza, yep, that last turn momentum for Dahi really just did not allow Forza to even close in, let alone make an attempt. So Forza's got to close in a little bit more, get within maybe 2/10. All right, Aaron Webb starting to fall back a little bit of Aero Strike for the 5th position. Aaron's got to push up just a little bit, make sure he stays within DRS. Get the free speed boosts. You do not want to give that away. Whoa! We saw a scary moment there for J-Rod. Tried to accelerate on curb and then the car yanked to the right. Great catch by the Red Bull driver. But as you saw, it slowed him down a little bit. It's going to take him out of DRS for Aaron. So J-Rod's going to have to catch that back up. All right, once again, Forza that time, a decent run on Dahi. See Dahi riding in the middle of the track, deciding how he wants to defend. He's going to protect the inside. Forza looks to the outside. Dahi has the preferred line, but Forza with a great run on the outside, he gets the preferred line in turn 2. Dahi has the preferred line entering 3, though. It's going to give him the position back. Forza right on his tail. He's going to look to the outside of 4. Oh, trying to look for the over-under there, but it just wasn't quite there. Forza still giving Dahi no room to breathe right now. And while we're watching this, I'm looking up top. McSendit is within right around 4/10 of Odoms. So the battle for the lead is starting to heat up. Pretty much the same gap that we're seeing between Forza and Nick now. All podium positions being challenged. We're going to ride with McSendit, your points leader. Only 3 points over the McLaren in front of him. See, McSendit had a little bit of issues with that second to last corner. That allowed Odoms to pull the gap. Now McSendit has the slipstream. He has the DRS. He's going to close in, but he's going to fall just short of establishing any kind of overtake. Odom's is going to hold that position. Both drivers very, very even throughout Sector 1. Forza still on the back of Dahi. I see that gap close up. We'll go back to that battle, but for right now, we got to keep it up front. Between our top 2 points, gentlemen, Odom's and McSended. They've literally traded wins back and forth. McSended won at Australia. Odom's won at China. McSended won at Bahrain. Odom's won last week at Russia. The only difference in the points was Odom's in that amazing last lap battle with McSended at Bahrain. Had the puncture. That puncture cost him a spot. Had him finish 3rd at Bahrain. That is the 3-point difference. Had Odom's finished 2nd in that race, we would be tied on top of the leaderboard. Still very equal between our top drivers. Forza still super close to Dahi. Both drivers, though, losing ground to this top battle. So we see there's... Oh, McSended with a great run. He's looking on the outside. Maybe an over-under. Odom's has the preferred line. Can McSended... Nope, McSended's going to tuck it in. Coming up to the second DRS straight. Except this DRS zone, though, very, very short. Odom's protecting that inside line. McSended making a hard run on the outside, trying to look to the inside, just couldn't quite get it, the acceleration he needed. That was a very short acceleration zone, though. That was a longer straight. That nice arc that McSended took, while Odom's took the inside line trying to protect. That could have gave McSended a run to try to take the top spot. Here we go. All right, Odom's having issues. McSended's right on his tail. This is going to be a definite overtake attempt. The DRS is open. McSended's swinging out. Odom's protecting the inside. Remember, Odom's will have the inside on 1. If McSended holds the outside, he'll be... Oh! Odom's really crowding McSended there. McSended had to go onto the curbing. Go onto the apron. Make sure he didn't pinch him off. And what I think we saw right there is just a sign of respect between the 2 championship drivers. Odom's realizing what he did has now given the spot to McSended. It's one thing I love about this. Not only do we have world-class speed in this league, we have world-class sportsmanship. Odom's realized he crowded him off course. McSended would have had the rights to that inside line in turn 2. Odom's lets him by, does the right thing, and now Odom's is going to plan his attack. Very, very well done. And we have issues while this was happening. Forza has dropped all the way down. All right, so... Actually, Forza pitted. So Forza was the first one to pit. Forza is on the hards. I know those may look red, and we're used to seeing super softs. Those are the hards. Let's go ahead and look at the tire composition. Yes, it is. Forza was the first of our top to make the pit stop, and McSended's in. McSended took the lead, and now McSended's in, giving Odom's the top spot. It's the Mercedes pits. There's the hard for the Mercedes. So we're seeing it out of the Forza. We're seeing it out of McSended. They're going for the one-stop strategy. Aerostrike is in. He comes in from 5th place. Dahi stays out. Aaron Webb stays out. Renga stays out. There we go. And actually a little bit of, really a nice bit of teamwork there. Renga saw McSended leaving pit road. Renga knows he's on old tires. Does not pressure McSended going into turn 1. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. On the front stretch. That is a busted up Williams of Dano. Unfortunate for the Williams fill-in driver tonight. He is going to be scored down to 16th place. as our first car casualty. Zeus disconnected on his own accord, but there's the first casualty. Alright, we got to keep an eye out front now. I'm pretty sure that we're going to see Odom's pit this time. And there he is. McSendit had the one lap of undercut. McSendit had a very slim lead. It was about 0.6 of a second. We're going to have to see how it all plays out now that McSendit has had the one lap on the hard tires. There's the hards for Odoms. Dahi is in. Aaron Webb is in. Ranga is in. So that's our top 7 drivers all pitting now. And here we go. The drag race for the lead. And it's going to be McSendit with a full head of steam. And with that one lap undercut, McSendit gains roughly 3/4 of a second and puts Odoms out of DRS right now. That is huge for McSendit. Now these harder compounds, they're going to last for the rest of the race. However, the drivers are really going to have their hands full. They have the longest durability, the lowest amount of grip. Now with the pit cycle as well, Forza actually pitted 2 laps beforehand. So with that undercut has allowed him to take third over Nick Dahi. We saw Forza was breathing all over Dahi's neck before the pit cycle. Now has a 2-second gap. And Woody, Woody's in chat. He's our full-time William driver. Couldn't make it this week. Dano filled in for him. And then Dano gives his car the mercy kill. Alright, let's look at our leaderboard. Everybody's now pretty stretched out. We're going to keep an eye on the gap between McSendit and Odoms. See if that closes up any. But really, our battle for position is between Aaron Webb and J-Rod. J-Rod within DRS. One of only 3 DRS battles going on right now throughout the entire field. Hopping on top of the Red Bull. Trying to chase down the Force India. Yeah, Doge, just a little spit shine. I'll fix that car right up. Alright, J-Rod. Was it? Oh! Great catch by the Red Bull driver. We saw that left front get a little bit on the curbing there, and the car whipped to the right, but he was able to hold it. Alright. As we wait for J-Rod to see if he can close in a little bit more on Aaron Webb, let's go back to Renault teammates. Yeah, K-Dog in 10th, Psycho in 11th. Both drivers have pitted. Matter of fact, the entire field has pitted. Alright, K-Dog getting a little bit better run than Psycho. Widens the gap. We're looking at the same kind of gap between Aaron and J-Rod right now. Coming off the final corner. J-Rod with a nice run. He's going to definitely close in on Aaron. Not enough to make an overtake, but it's going to definitely close that gap in. Though he does take a little peek. I think that was more of maybe testing Aaron, letting Aaron know that he's there more so than trying to make an actual attempt. Alright, let's give some love throughout the field as we look at another battle. Oh my goodness! Oh, we were going to watch the battle between Prowler and Brian Mosser, but Brian slowing down coming into the pit, Prowler getting into the rear of him, though it did look like minor contact. Looking hard, I'm not seeing any damage on the front of that Sauber, so really big break there for Prowler as the Haas driver pulls it into the pits. We saw the issues that Brian had earlier. Alright, Psycho has now fallen back. He is out of DRS of his teammate, K-Dog. So let's keep the eyes on the Red Bull and the Force India. Aaron Webb in 6th, J-Rod in 7th. The battle for position going on. And it stayed pretty equal up top. We're still looking at a 1.4 second difference between McSendit and Odoms. Oh no, J-Rod! Pushed it too hard, was focused on trying to get that big run and open up DRS, went wide off the track, into the gravel. You know, no harm to the car, except it cost him a good almost 2 seconds. Alright then, since that battle's cooled down, let's go ahead and break down the entire field then, shall we, since we have a moment to breathe halfway through this race. Alright, we saw it with McSendit. Qualified second, took the top spot, made the pit stop one lap before Odoms, and that allowed him to get the gap. Odoms, your pole sitter, 1.3 seconds. He needs to make up a little bit of time. You see, it's really not that huge of a gap. But Odoms needs to close it in a little bit more. He needs to get that DRS. Get it within 1 second. Odoms! Oh my goodness! What a save by Odoms. Coming off that final turn, onto the curbing, that car did its damnedest to go eat the inside pit wall, and Odoms did everything in his power to straighten her back out. Any less of a driver, and that McLaren is cut in half. Incredible catch by Odoms. Good lord. Alright, to calm down from that moment, Forza Alonso qualified 4th. Used pit strategy to get around Nick Dahi, and has since then put a pretty decent gap on Dahi. Forza has finished 3rd, 2 races in a row. See if he can make it 3, or better yet, get some more positions. Actually, no, it wasn't 3rd. He's had 2 straight podiums, that's correct. At Bahrain, he wasn't 3rd for the whole race, and then with Odom's puncture, Forza clipped him at the line by 0.3 seconds to claim 2nd place. And that absolute insane last lap. Larry bringing in a raid. Thank you so much, my man. Alright, Nick Dahi qualified 3rd, sitting 3rd in the points. Only 3 points separate himself and Forza. Looking to have that gap closed if things stay the way they are. Dahi, though, with 18 laps to go, he's got 5 seconds to try to catch up on the Ferrari. Speaking of Ferraris, Aerostrike lost the position early, has gained it back, and really holding down 5th place. And as a matter of fact, he's closing in on Nick Dahi. So really good hard tire pace right now for Aerostrike, trying to create a battle for 4th place. Aaron Webb. Matter of fact, we're entering a chunk of cars now that are all in their qualifying positions. Aaron Webb started 6th. Currently 6th. He's had 2 4th place finishes in a row. He's gonna need some help if he wants to try to change that and get a podium. Overall, though, looking at a decent points run. Aero is within DRS of Dahi. I'm going to keep an eye on that gap as we still go through the field. J-Rod was closer to the Force India. We saw that really big off he had coming off the last turn. Managed to keep her intact, but now he's got some ground cover. B. Moore had issues off the start, lost a lot of positions, has gained all those spots back. He finds himself in 8th place. However, he's 9 seconds back at J-Rod, so he's got a ton of time to make up. Ranga, the other Mercedes driver, 2 seconds back of the Force India. Trying to create a battle there, trying to get the extra 2 points that comes with that position. K-Dog, +1 right now, sitting in the last points position. In a bit of a race of his own, 2 seconds back, or excuse me, 7.5 seconds back of Ranga. However, he's got almost a 5-second lead over his teammate, Psycho Sui, who's up 2. 12th place, McLaren in the McLaren. He is +2. KWP in the Toro Rosso, +2 as well. Then we've got Prowler, who started last after not being able to get a qualifying lap in. He is +3, taking advantage of the unfortunate issues that Brian Mosser has had at 15. Dano is the wrecked out Williams that we saw earlier, and then Zeusman retired early in this race as well. So 15 of the 17 drivers are still on the track right now. We'll take it back out up front. I'm going to go ahead and watch this battle starting to form as Aerostrike is closing in on Dahi once again. McSendit has opened up a few more tenths over Odoms. It's now at 1.6. And Sandman, yeah, I'm I don't know how Odom saved that. Like I said, that should have been insta-gib. Oh, Arrow with a really, really tough last two corners there. What was under 1 second turned into a second and a half really quick. As Dahi, really nice line, really smooth line through the two right-handers. Arrow, not so much. He's got to make that time back up. Zeke, what's going on, buddy? And I'm trying not to jinx myself in saying it, but I am super excited about that viewer number as well. And we've seen some pretty great action in this race. We've hit our first pit cycle. Field's kind of spread out a little bit. We're trying to watch some battles start to form up, but otherwise, we've seen one destroyed car. We've seen great wheel-to-wheel action throughout multiple turns. We saw the leaders dicing it up a little bit. And now, Odoms, he's had a much better lap this time. Starting to close back in on McSendit for the lead. Odoms is just out of DRS zone. And matter of fact, Odoms just set the fastest lap of the race with a 21.1. And if we look, that lap is a half second, almost 5. Oh no! That's huge. That is huge. Odoms just got a 3-second penalty for exceeding corner limits. So not only does he have to pass the McLaren, have to pass the Mercedes. Then the McLaren driver would have to create that 3-second gap. This is what we saw at Australia. In the very first race of the season, Odoms actually crossed the line first, but time penalties gave the win to McSendit. Odoms is gonna have to. He's gonna have to have a really killer last 13 and a half laps here if he wants to try to take home the win. Realistically, he's going to need to slip out of McSendit, and he'll need to capitalize. We've seen this between the two drivers all night. Their pace is incredibly equal. Every once in a while, one driver will get a couple tenths here, the other get a couple tenths there. But for the most part, lap in and lap out, very, very equal. Now, when we're talking about their fastest lap, matter of fact, Odoms is now within DRS of McSendit. When we saw the fastest lap, there is a half-second difference between Odom's best lap and McSendit's best lap. Now, McSendit had the luxury of having that big gap, and great job by KWP there. He realized he was in a pretty rough position, just took it off the track, did not want to impede this battle for the lead. Again, I'll say it, we have world-class talent and world-class sportsmanship here. Drivers always looking to do the right thing. But how much is Odoms burning up his tires right now? We saw this at Bahrain. Odoms had the late run speed over McSendit, pushed his tires to the limit, and created a puncture with a half lap to go. Could McSendit be trying to count on that again? Trying to force Odoms into overcooking his tires? Alright, I believe up ahead we see the Sauber. That is Prowler. Next to go a lap down. Poor Prowler, trying to do the right thing and get out of the way. McSendit flying with a full head of steam, trying to get any slipstream that he can to try to neutralize the slipstream and DRS of Odoms. I've been there before as a lap car. You're like, oh, okay, we got a full front straightaway. We're going to get out of the leader's way. And then I look at my mirror and like, oh my god, he's going to rear-end me. And Zeke, yes, Odoms is our pretty butterfly. Came out of his cocoon, joined a esports racing team. And now he's Marquez's. Except I'm still calling him Odoms. Both drivers, though, putting a pretty good gap over the field. We see Forza in third place, 12.5 seconds back. Actually, he would be 13 seconds back of McSendit. Forza pretty much needing these two guys to tangle it up if he wants to try to get that Ferrari on the top spot in this race. And then we saw there was another, looked like a curb hop out of Odoms. You get 3 strikes and then you get 3 seconds, so Odoms has got to be careful. He already has 1 3-second penalty to his name. McSendit does not. So Odoms is already behind the 8 ball. McSendit with a much better run. Widening that gap. It'll slowly neutralize with the slipstream of the DRS. Odoms will catch back up a little bit, but still nowhere near anywhere to make a room. I'm also keeping an eye, too. A battle that formed earlier that's kind of calmed down. Arrow is 1.5 seconds back of Nick Dahi. That's the closest, the other closest battle for position that we have going on right now. So we're definitely going to keep it up front with the McLaren of Odoms and the Mercedes of McSendit. Well, we'll hop back between the Williams and the Ferrari if Nick and Arrow get closer and start dicing it up. Here we go, the short DRS straight. Odoms closing in on McSendit as we go into Sector 3. And there's another one! Odoms is... There's no doubt about it now. Odoms needs help. He needs McSendit to have issues. That is 6 seconds worth of penalties. And Zeke, yeah, he created a new one. I think at this point as well, as we are under 10 laps to go, Odoms realizes the mistakes that he's made. He's got to know 6 seconds of penalties is going to be insanely... He won't be able to overcome it. McSendit would have to throw it away. But there is that pride of knowing, hey, I crossed the line first. I think that's what Odoms is racing for right now. And not only that, too, just keeping the pressure on McSendit, seeing if he can force our defending champion into an error. And I believe this is the second time K-Dog now has gotten a 3-second penalty. So K-Dog needs to be careful as well. If he gets another one, Psycho then would be within Delta of snagging that last points playing position over his teammate. I believe the only 2 names I've seen have popped up so far have been Odoms and K-Dog in regards to time penalties. Alright, Odoms a little bit too far back. He's going to close the gap, but he won't be close enough to make a move. Takes a little peek. Trying to make McSendit think about him. Trying to get McSendit to look into that mirror. Oh my goodness! Oh no! Oh, okay. So, no damage to the wing. Odoms got onto the green padding and just, that car flew from underneath him. Oh no! Oh no! Odoms and Prowler got together. That just ripped the wing off of Odoms and he is off again. And that appears to be it. That is going to be it for the McLaren. Absolute insanity. Odoms goes off track under his own accord, comes back on. There's contact with the lap car, and that's going to do it for your number 2 in points. McSendit right now knows what he has. He has to see this on the leaderboard. He has to be smiling. 15 seconds is the gap back to Forza. McSendit had a 3-point gap coming into this. This is going to put an entire race between himself and Odoms if he can hold this position. At this point, all McSendit has to do is just focus on tire wear. Don't get a puncture. Bring her home. Forza now finds himself in P2. Now we have another battle. The battle between Arrow and Dahi is now for a podium position. Stream favorite, resident meteorologist Aerostrike in the beautiful red Ferrari, trying to chase down the Williams of Nick Dahi. Dahi started the season off with 2 third-place finishes. He's had 2 rough races since. Arrow, after 6 podiums and 4 runner-ups last season, has not started the season the way he would definitely prefer. So Arrow would love to bring the pressure. He's got 7.5 laps. See if he can put 2 Ferraris on the podium, with Forza looking pretty comfy right now in second place. And for obvious reasons, chat, there's just some questions I'm not going to answer on air. You can talk about it amongst yourselves. We'll save a couple things for banter time after the race. Alright, we see Nick Dahi had a better run there out of 3. Gained a couple seconds on Arrow. After kind of watching the telemetries, it seems Dahi has the advantage in Sector 1, and then Arrow will close it back up in 2 and 3. And as he mentioned there in chat, Doge, who's one of our GT3 title contenders, knows that feeling all too well, as he was caught up in a Turn 1, Lap 1 wreck on Tuesday night that took out 3/4 of the field, I believe. It was absolute insanity to the start of that GT3 race, and Doge was one of those unfortunate victims. Hey Poison, so the fuel mix is, in F1, you can run, what's a good way to say it, different strengths of your fuel. So, for instance, 2 is your standard. It's pretty much how your car would normally run. You can bump it up into rich, which is 3, like you're seeing right here on the front stretch. This is trying to give you an extra speed boost. However, this is burning up more fuel doing it. There's also a fuel mix 1, which is lean, which will slow you down a little bit, but you'll save fuel. So you'll see right above the fuel mix, there is fuel remaining. That plus however many laps, that pretty much lets the drivers juggle how strong or how rich, they want to run their fuel, trying to get to the end with just enough fuel as possible. And tough crap, Doge, I did bring it back up. I'm sorry, buddy. This is hardcore broadcast journalism at its finest. I ask the hard questions. No problem, Poison. If you have any other questions about, F1 racing in general, feel free to ask, my man. Love to throw out the knowledge. Speaking of... Wow. All right, here we go. Dahi's got a little bit of a better run, but Arrow is right on him. That run is already neutralized. Arrow's going to start closing in. He's in a slipstream. He opens up DRS. He's closing in. Dahi looking like he's going to protect the inside. Yes, it is. Arrow's going to go on the outside. Dahi breaks in really early. That gives Arrow a great run. Arrow's going to hold the position. Give Arrow P3. With just under 5 laps to go. The Ferrari is now sitting 2 and 3. Dahi, though, not wanting to back down. See if he can size up Arrow. Get that spot back. Chicken, man, I'm really happy you found the stream too, my man. Matter of fact, for this season of our F1 League, we are running pretty much a hardcore schedule. We're trying to get a full 20 race season in before F1 2018 comes out. So our only bye week is going to be the week of 4th of July. Other than that, we are running every single week, every Thursday night. 9 p.m. is the start of qualifying. So by all means, my man, if you love F1, hang out with me. Love to have you. All right, Dahi. That was not a good last sector. He's going to have DRS. He's going to close back in up on Arrow a little bit. Actually, pretty decent close in there for as far as back as Dahi was. Probably seeing the downforce difference between the Ferrari and the Williams. Dahi stronger on the straightaway. And Odoms is in chat. Buddy. That was heartbreaking, my man. I know... sorry for the commentator curse. I don't know what else to say. But while it was happening, I mean, hats off to you and McSended again. Just really, really great battles that you guys were having up to that point. All right, Dahi closing back in on Arrow. As we're focusing on this battle, I'm keeping an eye on the leaderboard. If anything else closes in, we'll jump to it as well, but the field's pretty well gapped. Though it does look like Psycho is starting to close in on his teammate K-Dog. The two Renaults sitting 9th and 10th right now. See if they'll swap positions before this is over. All right, Dahi again. Closing in. Speaking of Renaults, I believe... No, that's a McLaren. Okay, I was about to say, I know we're coming up on lap traffic. That would be 12th place McLaren in front of this battle for third that we're seeing. And I can only assume that other car in front is Prowler, up in 11th position as well. So Dahi, seeing if maybe Arrow can catch a lapped car at the wrong time and take advantage of it. Up front, McSended still sitting very comfy. Almost a 17-second lead over Forza. Forza has over 8 seconds on this battle for third that we're watching right now. All right, Arrow's protecting the inside line. Nick's going to look for the over-under. Not quite there. Arrow gets good acceleration. But Nick is close. Nick needs to keep it this close going onto the front stretch with the slip in the DRS. McSended has crossed the line. There's 2 to go. Forza does not get a good release. Arrow has better traction. He pulls the gap. Dahi falls back. He's going to close in, but this might be a little bit too much of a gap to really make a move. Looks like Arrow is going to protect the inside just in case. Nope. Dahi doesn't even come close to establishing overtake. Arrow was able to go back out, take a better angle into the turn. Dahi, though, keeping it close. The lapped cars are getting closer. When are they going to catch him? Can Nick capitalize if Arrow catches him at the wrong time? All right, with all due respect between the Renaults, Psycho is closing in on K-Dog. So we might have a change between 9th and 10th, but we've got to keep it up here. The battle for the podium. As McSended has crossed the line, it is the white flag. The final lap has started. Our driver's still in Sector 3, though. Now, what's going to help Aerostrike? Aerostrike being this close to the lap cars is going to allow Aerostrike to get DRS as well. This is going to neutralize the attack that Dahi is going to try to make. All right, McLaren pulls to the inside. Arrow trying to take the slip, use the DRS. We see Nick is not able to catch up at all. That worked out perfect for the Ferrari driver. That was the exact opposite of what Nick Dahi needed. Instead of hurting him, the lap car benefited Aerostrike. And Honky Tonk, you can thank Codemasters for that. But thanks for hopping in the stream, my man. Oh, Arrow slips! Arrow slipped up! Dahi makes the move. Arrow's going to fight back on the outside. They got Prowler in front of him. Arrow with a hard brake. Hugs the inside. He left room for Dahi. That was clean. It was a late break, but it was clean. Dahi's going to have the inside. And McSendit has crossed the line. Congratulations, McSendit. That's his third win of the season. We have got to keep our eyes on this battle as they are wheel to wheel. Prowler needs to get out of the way. This battle for position. Oh! Arrow! We didn't have the greatest of camera angles. It looks like Arrow kind of muscled his way into third. Dahi ends up bumping the back of him. But that's going to be it. All the way down to the wire. Unfortunately, lap car may have had a play in that. But Arrow made it happen after an incredible last half lap between the Ferrari driver and the Williams. That's going to give Ferrari a double podium. There's your points leader. There's your defending champion. The Mercedes of McSendit. Huge congratulations to him. Jackie, thank you so much for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. And there we go. That's going to do it for the rest of the field. Let's go ahead and get a full breakdown of this. And Nino, no, by all means, I'd love to have you every Thursday night, please. Absolutely. And for anybody out there who's new to the stream, what you just witnessed, this is the PRL, the Precision Racing League. We have F1, NASCAR, iRacing across all platforms. This is our PS4 American F1 League. And this is the action that you see week in and week out. Just absolute insanity. And tonight was no different. There we go. The sight that we have seen many, many times in this version of F1 2017. McSendit taking home the win. Patrick, thank you so much for the follow as well. Everybody in chat and all my new followers, thank you guys so much. This is nuts. I have not had a stream like this. Ninio, thank you. This is incredible. And these boys definitely put on a performance worthy of it. So McSendit, your winner. 18.5 seconds over Forza. Forza, 9 seconds over the battle between Arrow and Dahi. And actually, you know what, through all that, I totally missed it. Dahi had a 3-second penalty as well, so even if Dahi got by Arrow, at least the battle was still fantastic. Aaron Webb's going to round out your top 5. J-Rod, B-More, Ranga, Psycho did get around K-Dog. The Chubernos are going to finish in the points. Prowler, McLaren, Monster, KWP outside of the points. No way! K-Dog. Alright, it was just put in chat. Brian Mosser, who had a self-admitted just bad race, several offs, this and that. Brian went soft tires at the end, low fuel, cheeky, fastest lap of the race. Mr. Mosser, congratulations. You're in the Hall of Fame, baby. Great job, Brian. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, Odoms, you are the man. Thank you so much. And again, everybody, I'm used to having 15 viewers. I saw almost 50 at one point, so everybody who gave love to the stream tonight and helping out, thank you so much. I'm here to help the PRL, and these guys in this F1 League are fantastic, and I want to give the love to them. So to see these kind of viewers, that's awesome, awesome, awesome. And you saw the quality of racing that we had tonight. It is worthy of that amount. Now, those new to the stream, what we're going to do now is we're going to back out real quick. We're going to get our podium guys here. We're going to do some post-race interviews. Everybody gets to see the super secret friends list of Hoot. There's Arrow. There's Forza. And McSend it. What's up, champ?
Hey, what's up, man? Good to talk to you.
Definitely. What's going on, Forza?
What's up, man?
All right, we just need Arrow, but we'll go ahead and get this started off. So first, let's talk to our points leader, 3-time race winner, and a man who had his hands full for the first 25 laps of this race. McSend it, my man. Once again, you and Odom's putting on a show up front. Just talk about, just the battle you guys were having there that were incredible, and plus that overtake you made right before the pit cycles.
Yeah, man, what a battle. That was awesome. Yeah, the overtake before the pit cycles, man. I had to work for that one. But I don't know, not much to say really. It really sucks for Odoms, like I'm not sure what happened.
Unfortunately, Odom's just straight up lost it on the exit of 2. Came back on the track, and then there was contact with the lap car. So it was a heartbreaker, but I do want to give a shout out too, because what I saw happen before you made the full overtake, you held the outside through turn 1. Odom's pinched you off the track, and then in pure sportsman fashion, gave the position back. And then you guys went back to battling wheel to wheel. So very awesome to see.
Yep. Yeah, the game gave me an illegal overtake too. I was pretty sure that it was going to. So yeah, no question. He was getting back out front. But yeah.
So I guess the only other thing to talk about your race then, because after Odom's had his issues, you held on to a pretty big lead. How were the tires looking at the end of the race? Were they any concern, or?
They were actually starting to feel sketchy. So I'm lucky that Odom's didn't hold on until then, because I might have been struggling on 1 lap older tires. But yeah, that was a risk going for the undercut on Odom's. I wasn't sure if I was going to come out in traffic, but I just came out in the most perfect spot. So luckily that gained me maybe another second on him.
Good.
But he closed right back up. I had to sweat it out for that one. Oh, my bad, man. I'll put it farther away.
Good times. Well, McSend it. Like we mentioned, that's 3 wins now in 5 races, and now gives you a lot of breathing room over Odom's. That was only 3 points entering this race. It's now going to jump to 24, so congratulations on the win, and even bigger congrats on a little bit of breathing room now in the championship battle.
Yeah, that's helpful. But, yeah.
Good times. All right, let's talk to our runner-up, Forza, my man. Kind of a quiet race for you as well. You had a good battle with Dahi early before the pit cycles, and then after the pit cycle, you pretty much just ran away with your position, for the rest of the race. So we know you were the defending Spain winner. So yeah, how would you grade your race tonight?
It was good. I'm happy with for what it was. I'm very, very happy to get a double podium with my teammate. That's always good, especially in the constructors, man. We got to get back in there, or back up there in that. Yeah, it was a really good battle with Nick at the start. Man, I tried making something happen at the very start of the race, but there was just nowhere for me to go. And from there, yeah, I knew I was overall quicker than, or I felt like I was overall quicker than Nick, but I just couldn't make a move stick behind him in the dirty area. That was rough. So I decided to go for the undercut. Paid off massively. I was like right behind him when I went in and came out like 3 seconds or so ahead of him. And after that, yeah, just kind of managed my own race. And towards the end, I just kept throwing it back into lean and just kind of cruising, trying to save the tires because I was pretty high up on tire wear. So yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, congratulations, my man. I know you're always looking for the win, but you had an incredibly smooth ride tonight. And to your point, I did a little bit of napkin math. The double podium Ferrari is going to bring you guys now just 16 points back in the manufacturer's battle. So you guys are You
Nice.
guys are in the thick
Oh,
of it
yeah.
now.
Yeah, definitely love to see that. We had a rocky start to the season, but I think we got it all
And
sorted
this
out.
is
We're
only
happy,
round 5 of 20, so you guys got plenty of time.
Yeah, definitely still a long season.
Uh,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
but let's
plenty
go ahead
of
and speak to that other Ferrari driver now, Arrow, my man. You saw a little bit of craziness up,
Uh-oh.
in the first beginning laps. Lost position, got the position back, rode around a little bit quiet, and then you and Dahi tore it up there the last handful of laps. Talk about that battle.
I was. I going up the hill. I lost it a little bit, and well, behind Prowler, I guess a little bit of dirty air, and then you got by me. I was like, oh no. So I had to brake late for the.
It was a late break, but
Thankfully,
you held the
we
inside. That
hit
was
each
just
other.
that was a balls move, my man. Congrats on making that stick.
Oh yeah. Well, Nick and I always give each other a lot of room. So.
That is true. It
If
actually,
anything, if you did that to me, I would have respected his move because I knew that if it was reverse positions, that would be probably his only chance to take the spot.
yeah, it's been a couple races since you and Nick have gone side by side for like a dozen laps in a row. We've almost forgot about the great battles you guys had. But
Oh,
no,
yeah.
that was just tremendous because not only that, then trying to maneuver through the lap traffic, and I thought actually McLaren there on the final lap, when you were going down the front straight, you got the DRS on him, and you got the slip, and I thought I was like, oh, that's the gap you needed. Nick brought it back, and then you guys just duked it out there, especially in sector 3.
Yeah, that DRS actually saved me from turn 1. Nick was running a lot lower downforce than I was.
Yeah, we saw that too. He definitely had the car on the straightaway. So,
Oh, yeah.
but my man, it's been way too long. I'm glad to get to do this podium interview with you, my man. Definitely a well-deserved
Glad
podium
we not
tonight.
finished 6th again. Yeah. Well, if anything, Nick could have been up here too. If
Nick's had his podium interviews. He's fine.
if I didn't make them. If either of us got it, it would have been deserved. For sure.
Well, gentlemen, congratulations to all three of you. And again, especially at different points throughout the race, man, all you guys had just tremendous battles. Definitely put on a great show. I know the field as a whole got pretty spread out there for a chunk, but at least we had like one good battle going at all times. So I want to thank you as the broadcaster for that. Much appreciated. And does anybody want to go ahead and call their shot for next week at Monaco?
Broadcasting it.
Anybody got the balls to call out
I'm not gonna
Monaco?
Hat trick right
There we go.
Next time
Nah,
it's
just
gonna
kidding.
crash lap 7. Brian's gonna win.
Hey,
That would
Brian
be
just got the
something.
fastest lap of the race. He's on top of the world, man. Brian's gonna freaking smoke Monaco now. Watch.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Keep that momentum going, Brian.
Awesome stuff. Well, guys, thank you so much for spending the time with me. I really appreciate it. And again, congratulations on your great runs tonight.
Hey, thanks a lot, Hoodius.
Oh, and just so